Okay, so now today we're going to focus on using some useful words. And I've chosen a list of words that maybe you've heard before and maybe you even know the meaning. But they're not so common that you would use them every day. Still, very, very useful. And I'm going to teach you what they mean first, but more importantly, I'm going to teach you how to use them. I'm going to put them in examples for you so that you can understand how to use them. Okay, so let's just start with the beginning. And our first word will be indicate. Indicate. This is the verb and the noun indication. Indication is the noun. Indicate and indication. Okay, so I'm going to give you a couple of example sentences to help you learn how to use these. The first one. Good sales indicate that we are doing the right thing. Good sales indicate that we are doing the right thing. Okay, good sales means you're selling a lot of something, so your sales numbers are good. If you're a company that sells something, it's important for you to sell a lot. Okay, so good sales means you're doing well. Indicate that we are doing something right. Okay, so if we have very good sales, that means we must be doing something to make the sales good. But that's not what indicate means. If our sales numbers are good, it suggests that something we did is very good to make the sales numbers good, to make our sales good. So it's kind of like suggests or point at. I didn't say what we did well. It doesn't matter. Indicate just means because of this, it must be that. What's that? Something we did good. Okay? So good sales indicate that we are doing the right thing or doing something right. Maybe our product, the thing we make or sell, is very good. Maybe our sales method, our sales technique is really good. It doesn't matter. The point is, because of this, it points at that. Okay? Indicates that. Indicate is like suggest or point at. Here's another sentence. I tried to indicate that I was willing to help, but you didn't notice. So this is kind of like point at, but not quite the same. First, I tried to indicate. So maybe you say that you need help about something. And I didn't say directly that I will help you. But maybe I said something like, well, I'm very good at doing this. And that thing that I said I'm good at will help you. I didn't say, let me help you, though. So I didn't say it directly, but I did indicate it. Indicate it means I suggested it. So I indicated that I could help you, but you didn't notice. Didn't notice. Notice means pay attention. You did not pay attention. You didn't see. If I said it directly, I will help you with whatever. I will help you. Then you don't need to notice. You can't not notice that. It's very clear. But if I say something else that's not so direct, so clear, and it indicates that I will help, then you need to notice it first. So if I say, oh, well, I'm very good at this, then you need to notice that and say, oh, really? Well, I need someone who can do that. Do you think you could help me? And then I would say, well, yes, of course. So indicate, suggest in this situation. Okay, here's another example. Flowers beginning to grow are a good indication that spring is coming. So now we use indication as a noun. Flowers, everyone knows what flowers are. My beautiful flower, so sorry. Flowers beginning to grow. So at the beginning, maybe things are getting a little warmer or the day is longer and you see some flowers coming up, are a good indication. So now we use indication as a noun that spring is coming. So because of the flowers, you know that spring is coming. The flowers being here point at spring coming or suggest spring coming. So remember the basic meaning, suggest or point at, for indicate and indication. All right, let's go to the next word. The next word, provide. And I guess that you know this word, but I want to talk about some different ways to use it. It's a very, very useful word. So here's an example. Without a good job, it's hard to provide for your family. Without a good job, it's hard to provide for your family. So this meaning of provide is very general. It means give food to your family, have enough money to buy clothes, enough money to pay for a house. Whatever your family needs, anything your family needs, you need to have a good job to make enough money to pay for all of those things. So this meaning of provide is like give, right? If you have a good job, you can make enough money to give the things to your family that they need, okay? Here's another example. I think Apple provides great products and great service to their customers. Great products. So you know Apple, right? Maybe iPhones and iPads and MacBooks. These are the products. The things they make are the products. And services or service. So if my computer is broken or my phone is broken, they will fix it for me and don't ask many questions. And I don't need to pay. That's great service. So they give those things to their customers. Yes, I need to pay money, but there are companies who don't do that very well, in my opinion. So Apple provides or gives great products and services to their customers. Okay, here's another example. The teacher asked me for the answer, and I provided verb it. The teacher asked me for the answer, and I provided it. What is it? The answer. I gave the answer. Okay? So it doesn't matter what the problem or the question was, but somebody asked me for something and I gave them what they asked for. So I provided it. I provided it. Okay? Here's one more. And this one is used more as a noun. And the word is provisions. It's not quite the same as provide. Provide, the verb, means to like give or help with something. But the provision is something you keep for a certain reason, a certain purpose. So for example, you're going on a camping trip. You want to go on a camping trip. Camping is when you go outside, you make a fire, you sleep outside, maybe you go to a mountain, and you need to take some things with you, like food, like matches and a lighter, and maybe a gun if you're going to hunt. Probably not, but maybe. Whatever you need to take with you, water. All of these things are called provisions. So, what provisions have you got? or do you have for your camping trip next weekend? So you have a camping trip. What things will you bring with you? What things will you take with you on the camping trip? The provisions are the things you keep and save for some certain reason. Okay? So provide is a verb. It means to give. Provisions, things you have for a certain reason. All right, so the next word I'm going to talk about is intense. Intense. And intense is an adjective. Intense is an adjective. The noun form is intensity. Intensity. Same meaning, but one is a noun, one is an adjective. I'm going to give you some examples and then try to explain the meaning and how to use it at the same time. High-paying jobs demand intense concentration. All right, so if you have a very high-level job and you get a lot of money from that job, the only reason that you can keep the job or continue to do the job well is to be very, very focused and work very, very hard. So intense in this situation means very, very strong concentration. If something demands something, it means you must have this if you want this. High-paying jobs, a job that pays a lot of money, demand. High-paying jobs demand means you must have. Demand means must have. High-paying jobs demand intense concentration. Concentration means very, very focused. You can't think about this, you can't think about this. You need to really, really pay attention to one thing. And not only pay attention to one thing, but very, very strong. Pay attention to one thing. That's the intense part. Intense, very strong. So we could say that for the Olympics, people who do certain sports. When you do certain sports, you need to be very intense and intensely focused. You could use intensely as an adverb. Intensely focused on one thing. If you think about this thing or this thing, you can't do it well. Okay? So demand means you must do this thing, and intense means very strong, and concentration means focus. It's a little bit difficult, so I'm going to give you a couple more examples. Okay, so here we go. The intensity of UFC is almost too much for me. So intensity is the noun, remember. Remember, intensity is the noun. And it means, again, very, very strong or powerful or heavy, a lot of something. The intensity of UFC. First, what is UFC? Well, it's quite famous in the world. It's a kind of fighting. And people fight without gloves. They just fight with their hands and they punch and kick each other. And there's a lot of blood and they're beating each other. So I could say, wow, this is very intense. But sometimes intense is not good. Sometimes intense is a bad thing. Actually, I don't like how intense it is. I don't like to see people beating each other and fighting each other and lots of blood. So I can say, UFC is too intense for me. Too intense for me. Okay? All right, here's another example. Steve Jobs, the person who started Apple, was known for being an intense businessman. So some businessmen are very relaxed and everybody feels very comfortable around them. But Steve Jobs was known or famous, known for, same as famous for. was known for being an intense businessman. That means he was so strong with his conversations about business that some people felt a little bit nervous around him or uncomfortable. He's so strong. Hey, you know, and shouting at you maybe. So that personality type is called intense. Sometimes you can describe a person as very intense. He's a very intense person. That means one, not very relaxed, has a very strong personality, and everything is probably very serious for this person. Okay? So intense is a very common word. Okay, so let's go on to the next word. The next word is solution. Solution has a couple different meanings, and I'm going to talk about them. The basic and most common meaning of solution is answer. Let's talk about how to use it. There are often no easy solutions when it comes to being happy. Okay, so being happy is what everybody wants, usually. Most people want to be happy. But sometimes it's difficult to be happy, right? There are things that can make you not happy. Okay, so how to become a happy person all the time is not always an easy thing, or not very simple. So we can say, there are often no simple or easy solutions. That means answers to being happy. Okay, so sometimes it's very difficult to be very happy all the time. So if there's a simple solution, that means you can use this answer every time in every situation. But here in my example, the answer is not easy. Usually, it's not simple. The answer, the solution is not simple. Okay, another example. After a month of thinking, I came to a solution which would make everybody happy. Came to a solution. So after a month of thinking, I came to a solution which would make everybody happy or satisfied. All right. Now, I don't know what the problem is in this situation, and it's not important. But the point is, there was a difficult problem for me. If I decided this thing, then these people would be unhappy. If I decided this thing, then these people would be unhappy. So this is difficult, and the solution must be very, very hard to come to. That means get, have. So I needed to think and think and think for 1 month, I thought. Finally, the solution came to me. Didn't actually come to me. Actually, I thought about the solution and found the solution. But we often use came to me because sometimes it's like that. You're thinking and thinking, and then suddenly, bing! Ah! I know the answer. So the solution came to me. After a month of thinking, the solution came to me. So I thought about a way that everyone can be happy. Everyone can be happy. All right. So, a solution of water and salt. This meaning of solution is different than answer. This meaning of solution is one thing is in some liquid. You have some liquid like water or milk or something, and then there's another thing inside of it, and you mix it inside so that you can't see it anymore. So if you take some salt, and you put it inside water and stir it, soon you can't see the salt anymore. So it is a salt and water solution. That is the meaning of solution. Another meaning. So one meaning is answer, another is you have some water and another thing inside. All right. The next word I want to talk about is the word tolerance. Tolerance. Tolerance means you will allow something, or if you do not have tolerance, you will not allow it. It's a little bit like freedom as well. So, I have no tolerance for laziness. This is something that is true about me, okay? When somebody tells me, oh, I can't do this, and then gives me many reasons why, but actually the reason is just because they don't want to, because they are lazy. They would rather sit on the sofa and watch TV. So I probably don't want to talk to this person. Laziness is something that I don't like. And when I talk to people who are lazy, I feel uncomfortable. And if I work with someone who is lazy and they do something that's very lazy, I will probably stop working with them. So I have no tolerance for laziness. No tolerance. That means if somebody is lazy around me, I will go. Or if somebody is lazy around me, I don't want to work with them anymore. If I am your manager and you work for me and you're very lazy, get out, basically, is the meaning. So if somebody has no tolerance for something, it means they can't really stand that. They can't deal with that, and they don't want others around them to have it. Okay? Same, I will not tolerate laziness. So tolerance can be a verb. I will not tolerate laziness. It's also a verb as tolerate. Tolerate. Same meaning. Same meaning. I will not tolerate laziness. Or if something is something you can tolerate, then you can use it in the same way. So for example, I don't like when you sing, but I can tolerate it. I don't like when you sing, but I can tolerate it. So someone is near me and they're singing a song and I don't enjoy it. It's not my favorite, but I also am not so angry and I won't go away. So it's okay. I can tolerate it. It's similar to bear. I can bear it. I can bear it. I don't enjoy it, but I can bear it. Okay? All right. So again, the basic meaning of tolerate or tolerance is bear. I can bear something, or I can't bear something, or allow something, or cannot allow something. Okay, so practice using these words and try to use them in your own examples. It's a good way to really understand the words. And in fact, anytime you use a word, try to do what I did. Try to put it in a sentence so that you can see the meaning of the word in the sentence, or at least guess the meaning from the sentence. It's a really good way to practice new words. Okay. Also, if you're reading, try to learn new words from what you're reading without using a dictionary. Okay? So, I'll see you next time.